Well, I have a special guest today. And I can't emphasize the word special enough. This is kind of like a big thing. I kind of fangirling out in a little bit, like a little bit, because I am a huge wrestling head, and I have the great Shawna Reed here, the incredible Shawna Reed here. If you are unfamiliar with wrestling or wrestling terms or anything like that, she has made several matches in AEW. She has wrestled for TNA, which is a long-standing tradition of being producing some of the greatest wrestlers out there today. So that's huge accolades. Made appearances in WWE. If you're not familiar with any one of those, she's made appearances in WWE. She is the first Rhodes Academy champion and the longest Academy champion. There's so many other things. Wrestled internationally, in the UK, independent scene on the circuit, and continually striving to work hard. If there was ever a person that I could give accolades to as far as a motivational mindset person for somebody that is dedicated to the cause, it is her. So I'm going to welcome Shauna Reed. How are you doing?
Hi, I am exhausted, but we are here. We're getting through this and I'm excited to be here. So yeah, thanks for having me.
I have greatly appreciated your exhaustion comes from not only traveling but working constantly, moving around. Like you juggle many hats. If you want to name those hats, that is entirely onto you. I don't want to put anybody's information, but if that's what you want to do, definitely say you're one of the hardest working people that I have had the pleasure of kind of skimming over in the last couple of days. You are definitely out there. So I will give you props for that. First question I have on the board is what inspired you? What inspired you to be that wrestler, that desire? What did that?
Well, it was pretty much like always. I grew up very like backwards and very introvert and very like I was severely and I might tell you severely bullied and all the way from like pretty much intermediate school to my till I graduated. I was a little bit more overweight. I was the weird like wrestling nerdy girl, like just I was very like I was even told by other kids to continue looking down, like don't look people in the eye because I didn't deserve that.
Wow.
And like I was called the ugliest girl in school. I was bullied. And then so I was always wrestling had always kind of been there for me. I had discovered it through a video game, figured out it was a real thing, and kind of became obsessed with it. Obviously, I went through that phase where a bunch of us do go through, like we'll stop watching wrestling for a few years, and then I just turn it on again, and it was boom, instant back, and I just felt something inside, like that I'm supposed to be more than just a fan. And so now that I'm been doing this nearly 11 years, I've like you said, I've done a bunch of stuff that freaking young girl, that young bullied girl had only ever dreamed of doing. Um, to be able to look out in the crowd and see like a little girl or even, a little boy, so a child coming up to me, or they even tell me their stories and like it relates so much to me, where like I've even had like someone say like I've saved their life, like as in like they were suicidal, and like that changed everything. And like then they heard, like they watched me wrestle, they've seen some of my other interviews, and like seeing that I've gone from where I was to who I am, apparently this larger than life character to them in the ring, like
Right.
saved their life. um that meant more to me than I think anything that I've ever heard, ever. So guess that what inspires me to continue doing this and to continue following this passion, this dream I have, even though, I've been in this long enough. I'm getting to be one of the older girls in the business, like people are like, time to retire, time to become a mom, time to, family. Cause I don't have any of that. Like, go time to live the normal life before, you can barely walk because of everything you're doing.
Right.
Um, but what keeps me going, it is, the adrenaline you get during a match, but it's more being able to look out into the crowd or have someone come to my table at a meet and greet and just
Right.
seeing that in their eye, that like, and telling me that I'm their hero, or they're still here because of me, or they're following their dreams because of me. Like, some like that happens when you're told that, something just in you changes, and it just, you're like, you have to keep doing this, not just for yourself but for others. So
I I 1,000% applaud you, and we discussed briefly before this, my brief stint in taking bumps and rolling around in the ring. People don't understand the amount of dedication and sacrifice that you put on your body. They really just don't understand that, and the amount that you have to train and do and be dedicated to that. It's an extreme level of sports and physical fitness. And the realest thing out of all of that I just said, the realest thing to come out of all of wrestling is when someone, a performer, an entertainer, an athlete is in the ring and they say, it's because of all of you.
yeah.
That is like the realest thing that I have ever seen, because again, some people may think that, oh, they're just saying that to get a pop, or they're just saying this to get a reaction. They don't understand. It really comes from that feeling and that emotion and that drive. And that brings me to the question. So you kind of answered it, but like, what keeps you motivated in doing this?
Yeah, it's 100%. Like, it's not just a saying when someone retires and said it's for you, it's for the fans, it's not, because a single back bump, which is just a single fall backwards without even taking a move, just you just fall backwards, has been related to taking a car accident like at 35 miles or 25 miles per hour. It's been related to that. And like, so we're consistently taking multiple car crashes every single match. And so it really messes up our bodies. So like, it generally is because of the fans. I'm full on believe I probably would not be doing this anymore if it was not for the for the fans. Whether you boo me, whether you cheer me, it does not matter. Like, each individual fan has that impact on a wrestler. Whether you, like, say they even, like, they chase you out of the building because you were such this dastardly heel, it does not matter. Like, I that like, you did your job, and you made an impact on that fan's life, whether it was a good one or a bad one, you made an
Right.
impact. And so doing that, like, yeah, that's what keeps me pretty much in this, the raw emotion of the fans.
We all have our favorites, and even we root for the bad guy sometimes. So Scott Hall will forever be that one that's always heartfelt but was always a bad guy. Who was that wrestler that did that for you, that just gravitated to you and you held that warm spot for forever?
um like, so at the very beginning, and kind of still now to today, it's always been genuinely like Shawn Michaels for me. um but then as I got back into wrestling, and the person that actually got me just because I felt like them so much in my heartstrings was AJ Lee. Like, so I literally, she's the one that, like, I
Okay.
watched her and I'm like, I need to do this.
Okay.
Like, I can do this. Like, I don't know, something about her. I watched her and I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing this too, you know? So so Shawn Michaels for my whole career. And then AJ Lee from the time I first saw her, till, which wasn't long after she debuted on the main
Right.
roster, till the time she retired. And I mean, still to this day, like, I swear, if I ever meet that woman, I will cry, because genuinely, I will cry.
We will push what we can to make sure it happened. I'll make sure that I tag her in all of this, and make sure that we will try to push that.
Yeah.
Um, it's we're about trying to push things and make things, happen for everyone. And I love the fact that you are out here giving and sacrificing, not only your body but your time and your life to not only make the difference and make an impact to people. Um, I it's not often we get to see it, and this is straight off the cuff, but we got to see the little girl from NXT that like was a huge Super Bailey fan that just kind of grew up and now she's, doing
She's doing
professional
it.
wrestling,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's beautiful. Wrestling is one of those things that's beautifully told, and it's told throughout life. It's told through expression. It's told through who we are. And it's great to see somebody that's living that life and going through that life that you can have a conversation with that expresses themselves in everything that they do. So for me personally as a fan, thank you very much for that. I think that's just I think it's hella awesome. And I love what you're doing. Is there anything that you want people to know about you on a personal note or a professional note? Is there anything like that?
I mean, I'm very well, hello, sorry, dog.
It's awesome.
Um,
You have a dog.
I'm very much I'm very much an open book. I really am. And then you will literally kind of see the real me and the character of me in my matches because I'm very much a storyteller. I will tell a story, whether it's something that happened in everyday life, it's whether it's something that happened, in just the storyline. Um, I mean, I've had so many injuries in this business, like genuinely, like so many concussions. I'm like Kurt Angle. I wrestled on a broken freaking neck and didn't realize I was wrestling on a broken freaking neck. I mean, yeah, my neck hurt, but I always thought that it hurt really bad to the point I couldn't turn it. But I didn't really. You're a wrestler. You're like, this is just another kink that's showing up. But then when I got knocked out in the ring one time, I got life squatted to the hospital and they did a CT scan and they like, you have a healed fracture in your neck. And I'm like, oh, well, that explains a lot. So, we do this all, like and I was still wrestling probably 4 times because I was working for OVW pretty regularly during that time. I think that happened. So I was wrestling Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. So on a broken freaking neck. So I completely understand like yeah. Never ever, if you ever question a wrestler's like, mind, body, and soul, like don't. Their dedications. Most of us have a dedication to this business that we will literally put our life on the line for the
The,
show. So
the training in itself is already will weed out half of the people that think that they can do it. The training
mhm.
is just it's grueling. It's
Yes. I was the only girl in my class in my first training class. I was the only girl in my class because I went to Cody Hawk's school for like, and then I became a trainer pretty much there. I went there for like 7-8 years, and I was the only girl for a long time,
oh
very
and,
long
and
time.
I'm sure they did not take it easy on you.
No, and I'm so happy that they didn't
I
because
know.
like now like it's like okay, I can hang with these guys, like they did not take it easy because if they took it easy on me, then I hit harder on them to make them hit me harder, or I like went faster to tick off the guys so that they would like try to prove a point.
Very
So
competitive. Very competitive is what I heard. Very
yes, very competitive
very
and being
competitive.
like, you know what, like I'm in here doing this exact same thing that you're doing, like treat me as such. Don't treat me, oh, it's a girl. Let's be, no, don't treat me like that. Treat me like, you know what? Like, no, I'm your opponent, you know? So here I am. I signed up for the exact same class that you guys did. Treat me as such.
What is your toughest match? I'm like you have me all interested in what was your toughest match or the one that, matches not only your in-ring persona that you just love, that chemistry that met.
Um, there's um there's three off the back that I can think of. One actually just happened recently, actually in Scotland again against Moxie Malone. I just met her, and for like we just connected like so well, and like genuinely, she was almost like me wrestling myself in a different country. So we got to wrestle twice against each other, and it was so much fun. Like I generally had like literally it was wrestling myself. Probably my favorite match to date was actually in England against this guy named Cerebral Steve. And we just went out there and genuinely like he was newer. So he was very like, kind of like, but he was down for anything. And I was like, let's just go out there and let's just kill it. Like, let's just try these things. Let's break out these things, see if we can do them. And it was the best match I think I've ever had in my career. I still watch. I don't usually watch my matches back a lot. This one I will still watch. I will just randomly pull it up because I'm like I actually enjoyed it.
Okay.
And then my third one was against Logan Blackheart, and it was for the Super Zeta Memorial Championship. Because Zeta was Zeta was my best friend, and he and also a trainer of mine, and he passed away due to cancer. So they were
Sorry.
doing it. Yeah, they were doing a memorial show for him, and it was the first person to hold the title, the Super Zeta Memorial title, and it was me and Logan. And pretty much we went out there and did all this luchador stuff that Zeta taught us, because Zeta was super like luchador. He lived half in Mexico, half in the United States, and he was super famous apparently in Mexico as this luchador. So he very much like trained us that way, and so we did all that. And yeah, it was because that one was super emotional. That one was personal. And Logan Blackheart is one of my best friends. He is like my little brother. Like I would go to jail for that guy. I would step in front of it, like I'd push him out of way of a train and take the hit. That's my little brother. So those three off the top of my head are pretty much ones that still reside in here that I still like really I'm proud of and I care about.
I
So
love how you put them over. Um, One final question for you. Who would be your dream match opponent?
um well, at the current moment, well,
Sure.
actually, obviously, AJ Lee. AJ Lee is always
Oh,
there.
we're tagging her. I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Actually, I would love, oh my gosh, I would love a triple threat. And I hate multi-woman matches. Hate them, hate them. There's just too many moving parts. I stress out. I stress about them. But genuinely, it would be me versus AJ versus Rhea. I would,
Wow.
I would fully retire after that match. Goodbye. Thank you. It's been fun. I cannot do anything better. Like
Wow.
even if I screwed up in the match, I'd be like, I had the match. I don't care. It happened. I'm done. So
Wish it into fruition. Just
yeah.
wish it into fruition. It's still possible.
Oh, maybe if
There's still a possibility at this moment. Everybody is still, able and able to go. So
mhm.
wish it into fruition. Put it out there. Make sure it
you know
comes to the
we
universe.
we we finally verbalized it. So now that it has been verbalized, let's make it
Right.
happen.
Move
It's
it
always just been in
forward.
here. It's been
Move it
verbalized
forward.
now. Let's do
Move it
something.
forward with all your energy. Uh,
Yes.
I don't have, and I respect your time. I don't have a lot for you. You have answered everything that I can think of. Is there would you like to cut a promo? Would you like to cut a spot? Is there anything that you want to add or follows, hashtags, anything that you want to drop right now?
Let's see. I mean, people can follow me on Instagram, Shawna_Reed. I'm on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at Shawna Reed 93. Facebook is just my name, Shawna Reed. TikTok, because that's always fun, is Wrestler Shawna Reed. If you do want to purchase shirts, 8x10s, I just actually got stickers in the mail today. So I have stickers now. You can either direct message me for all of that, or I do have a pro wrestling tee store, which is all over that social media stuff that I just dropped. So there is that. I'm wrestling pretty much all over, like in the next few weeks. Like this week, I'll be in Newport, Tennessee for KFW NWA on Friday. So Newport, Tennessee. And then next week I'm in Wisconsin, and then the next week I'm somewhere. I don't know. I post all the posters, so they will be there, so you can see them on my social media, so you can see that. But yeah.
No problem. So be sure to follow Shauna Reed on everything possible because I promise you she is busy. She is absolutely busy. In the amount of time that I've seen several hundreds different posts. I've watched a couple of matches of yours and a couple of different clips. So, and at that time, I know you are constantly working. And
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for taking that time out for being here with me, as well as answering any questions and just being your open and true authentic self and hopefully inspiring others. Is there anything that you want to add to anybody else that's growing up or growing into the business? Any advice you want to give them?
It will be the most painful. thing you ever go through, not just physically, but also emotionally. Um, but the painful physically, you can get through and you will get through. All of a sudden, you will get used to it, which is weird, but you will get used to it. The emotional stress, and I'm not going to lie, the emotional trauma that comes with professional wrestling, because it does, it comes with it. Um, you have to be very mentally strong to be in this business. And, and I still get it after 11 years. I still, you still get it every single day. But if you can push past it, it'll be the most insane, crazy, fun ride you will ever have. And also, being severely uncomfortable in the ring, as in like character wise, is right. If you don't feel uncomfortable, you're probably doing something wrong. So yeah, I always tell people uncomfortable is good, because as someone who does a crazy character, holding back and not doing that character and being, oh, I feel like I'm being okay, that's not what they want. So yeah, just uncomfortable is good in this business in certain aspects, but you know what I mean.
I
But yeah,
understand. I understand. Wink,
so
wink, wink. I understand.
yes.
But yeah, it's that's something else. Shauna, thank you very much again. I respect your time, and I'm not going to hold you up, but I wish nothing but championships and many blessings over to you, and
Thank you.
and hope to have you back at some point, telling about your championship run or talking about your journey. I'd love to have you back.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.